Hi, I'm Jim Gordon.
And I'm Lita Leapins.
And welcome to another edition of Our City Tonight.
Well, we're standing right downtown Vancouver, and we have a really packed show. So...
Is this my line? Oh,
yeah.
Let's get right to it.
This segment of Spirits Up is brought to you by Evolve Cellars and Time Winery. Cheers.
Cheers.
Well, we're downtown Vancouver at Chewy's Oyster Bar, and one of their two locations, actually. This is a gorgeous big space.
This is, boy, right in the middle of downtown. And, you know, we're starting with something that you sell a lot of here at this location, CL. What are we going to start with?
We do. So, you know, it's not a segment without bubble. Because
Never,
you know how
never
much
a real
I love
segment,
it.
yeah.
But this is a new listing here at Chewy's as well.
Okay.
And just an amazing pairing. I mean, the oysters and the effervescence from Evolve are just a perfect combination. So.
And you've talked about this quite often. That I mean, I see Lita drink this all year. No, I mean I do too. But so many people.
Okay.
One of the
You say it like there's something wrong.
I know, that's why I don't know why she's getting insulted by that. But you talked about that. You know, a lot of people drink this in the summer, but we're in a holiday time of the year right now, and this stuff it just shoots to the top of the list.
Absolutely. As we're entertaining for the holiday seasons, that is when people generally think about sparkling wine, is on that special occasion. I don't understand that because I drink it pretty much daily, and I try to encourage that by opening a bottle makes it a special occasion.
Oh, very
but
nice,
definitely as you go through the holidays, there's more time to get together with friends and family and entertain. And what better way to celebrate than with a sparkling wine?
This is definitely one of my favorites of your whole series.
Thank you. Yeah.
And not sweet. One of the things that we both commented when we first tried this over a year ago, this is not sweet.
No, not
Very
at all.
dry.
So this is a blend of Pinot Blanc, Chardonnay, and this new vintage has a little bit of Pinot Gris, which is different for sparkling wine. You don't generally use Gris for sparkling, but it's made in the traditional, not traditional method, but the Couve Clos, which is how Prosecco is made. So it's very light, fresh, fruit forward, nice apple pear characteristic to it that, you know, has a very fine mousse and fine bubble, and it doesn't have that yeasty bread, doughy characteristic that a traditional champagne will have, but has all of the amazing fruit flavors and just liveliness, which again, while you're entertaining and through the holiday season, if you don't generally drink sparkling, this is also probably one you're going to like because it's not overly complex.
No, and no oysters we know.
I was going to say.
What else? What else would you pair with this?
Well, as Jim always knows, I like potato chips. Okay.
Yes, potato chips is always a must in the Crystal Lee diet.
If you think about it, the traditional pairing always champagne and caviar. And why is that? Because the caviar is salty and oily. So anything that's got a little saltier oiliness to it. So amazing with popcorn or oysters or anything that's got that texture and that saltiness to it is really what pairs really well with it.
Wonderful.
Well, we're going to come back to Chewy's Oyster Bar in downtown Vancouver with more holiday selections from the lovely and talented Crystal Lee.
Hi, I'm James Picard, artist and award-winning filmmaker, and you're watching Our City Tonight.
We're here at Gerard Lounge in the beautiful Sutton Place Hotel and sitting with one of our favorite actresses. Now, we got to sit with you before your big Riverdale premiere. Did you even imagine that it would go to where it's at?
No, and I don't think anyone really has the true formula for what's going to be a massive hit. It just kind of happens sometimes, you know. I think you try everything, all the elements, and sometimes it just explodes, and sometimes for weird reasons it doesn't. And Riverdale did. I mean, obviously it's got a lot of the juicy deliciousness that makes it the hit that it is. But I don't think anybody saw this success coming. Yeah.
Wonderful. Yeah. Well, let's have a little peek at that, and we'll come right back and we'll discuss a little bit more about your character.
Before you start casting stones, you should know that the lodges are still accepting money from the Sinclairs for their precious Sodale construction.
I don't care about them. I care about my mother. You would defend Daddy even after he murdered your son.
So you play, like you say, a delicious villain.
She's kind of deliciously weird and creepy and dark and twisted.
Yeah, and she actually has a lot of stuff happen to her. Can you give us a little bit of that?
So we're talking season 2?
Yes.
Well, I suppose you go a little bit back into season 1 where my daughter Cheryl, played by Madeleine Petsch, set the house on fire, and it appeared that I had survived, that everyone had survived. Although Nana Rose Blossom are her grandmother, my mother-in-law. There were lots of questions as to whether she'd actually made it out in her wheelchair. Anyway, turns out that my character Penelope ran back into the house to save the hideous family portrait and got terribly burned. And so for the first 2 episodes, I'm very scarred.
And that must have got a lot of time actually on the makeup chair.
Oh God, yes. Yes, both. So about 3 hours to get it all on, and then an hour to get it all off. And then, you know, the wardrobe was hilarious. So they kind of, I think they used Grey Gardens as an inspiration. I don't know if you remember that story of the 2 socialites, the mother-daughter, who kind of ended up in this completely decrepit mansion. And they wear turbans and gowns and just quite mad. And so that was the inspiration behind my wardrobe, which if you see it, I look a little bit like burnt Aladdin.
Oh, wow.
So, you know, totally worth looking up if only for that.
You're doing an amazing job, but you're also starring in an incredible movie that is coming very soon.
Yeah, so on the 1st of December, 24 Hours to Live with Ethan Hawke comes out in New York and LA and 2 theatres. And that was something that I shot in South Africa.
Wonderful. Well, let's take a quick peek at that and back with Natalie Bolt.
He's one hell of a weapon. With nothing to lose. How long do I have?
You have less than 24 hours to live.
Very exciting movie, and that is out now. Yeah. So can you tell us a little bit about working with Ethan Hawke?
It was really exciting working with Ethan. He's a really hard worker. So I literally got off a plane. I flew from New Zealand for about 36 hours, got off a plane in the dark, and literally was hauled onto set. This is Ethan, this is Natalie, and go. And so I was really, really jet lagged. And as you saw in the clip, it's real high-octane action film. And he pretty much had me by the scruff of my neck and just dragged me around the docks of Cape Town, which is good because that's how I stayed awake. But every day we came to set, he had an idea, and he was very, you know, he's incredibly passionate. He loves the choreography of the stunts. So Brian Smirts, who directed, is a well-known stunt director. And so, yeah, it became this amazing action movie all around Cape Town, from the slums to the beautiful, you know, mountaintops to, you know, it was, you'll have to watch it to see.
Absolutely will.
And I play the doctor who gives him 24 hours to live, so I play Dr. Helen. It's a bit of a sci-fi element. I bring him back from the dead.
Excellent. Okay, even better. Well, wonderful. Well, we all look forward to watching that. And again, thanks for spending some time with us today on Our City Tonight.
So welcome.
Hi, my name is Christian LeBlanc. I play Michael Baldwin on The Young and the Restless, and I am on Our City Tonight. Where are you?
Well, we're here in Vancouver at the Dinner by Design Cocktail Art Party. This is always one of the most beautiful parties here in Vancouver. And we're with the creator and founder. Tyson, how many of these has there been so far?
Well, this is our big 5-year anniversary here in Vancouver.
Wow,
but we've also produced the event nationally, so it's actually gone to Calgary 3 times, Toronto twice. But Vancouver's always been its home where it started, and it is our big 5-year anniversary this year, so we're looking forward for a great, great night tonight.
Buddy, we've known each other a long time, and for people watching in the rest of the country, I've had a number of people go, I know of this, but I don't quite understand it. I mean, it's visually stunning, and we're going to show you some of that, but can you describe it in a couple of sentences, what people will see when they come tonight?
So basically, if you're a fan of art and design and food and cocktails, which of course
we all are,
but what I really wanted to do with this event was marry my passion for design and great experiencing in food. And I think that there's so many incredible interior designers, architects, talented designers that often end up in the background instead of the foreground. So by wowing people with just a complete creative landscape of what they feel would be really fun to do, we basically provide within this event the opportunity for a lot of interior designers and architects to create their ultimate dining room tablescape, basically for 10 people. But it's more than the tables, as you can tell. It's a fully immersive 3D environment. So there's like walls, chandeliers, and everything. But the goal is to basically create these mini environments. Tonight's the big unveiling, obviously. So there's great cocktails, great food, and everything. And then tomorrow night, it culminates in a gala dinner where guests actually get to sit at the tables with the designer who designed them and talk design, talk art, talk whatever they want, and enjoy a fabulous 6-course meal and wine.
And like, who are we standing in front of? Whose work are we standing in front of right now?
So this is Chris Inco. This is an incredible designer. You know, she's blown me away, and her whole team has been nothing short of incredible. So we've been building for the last 4 days straight. And this is the part that nobody sees, is, you know, we've been here for the last 4 days from 7 a.m. till 1 a.m. working around the clock to launch and create these incredible tables, because every single concept that you'll see here tonight is custom designed just for tonight.
So cool. Well, there was one year that we actually came behind the scenes and filmed and got to see from the beginning up, and it was just phenomenal seeing the final result.
Totally.
Well, we're back here at Chuy's Oyster Bar, downtown Vancouver. Actually, if you missed the first segment, we were talking about bubbles. We cannot not talk about the pink effervescence that's available as well. And what is the difference between the pink and the white?
So the difference is the blend. So the white is a blend of Pinot Blanc, Chardonnay, and Pinot Gris. It has a nice apple pear characteristic. The pink, equally delicious, is a blend of Pinot Blanc, Merlot, and Chardonnay, and it has a little more of a strawberry type characteristic.
I'm kind of torn. I'm torn between both of them because I like them both.
Love them both.
For those people in the rest of the country that may not know of your father, who I refer to as the Frank Sinatra of the Okanagan wine industry, you've been around that long, just celebrated 50 vintages.
Yes.
Wow. We're gonna dip into one of his collections in the Chardonnay, and you tease me to this day that when we started doing this segment with you a while back, I was ABC, anything but Chardonnay, and you changed me, I believe, with what we're about to try now.
And we're not drinking whiskey. These are
exactly.
This is what they do here at Chuy's, right?
This is what they do at Chuy's, which is kind of nice because they have an amazing wine list, great wines, but they make it approachable. So it doesn't have to be all, you know, pomp and circumstance about the glassware. It's, you know, served in tumblers, so the wine's just as delicious. This is our McWater Chardonnay. It's barrel fermented. It's got this amazing sort of butterscotch, caramel, little tropical fruit characteristic to it. Our 2014 won a gold medal at Chardonnay du Monde, which is the international Chardonnay competition. And yeah, so we're very excited about this. And this is just a new release for us, this particular vintage.
How do you swirl in a glass like this?
It's a little harder, right?
That was very good.
Especially normally when it would be filled right to the rim.
Yes, then you just have to.
That's right. Now tell us, people at home wanting to pair this with something.
Oh, that's nice.
Isn't that delicious? Yeah. So Chardonnay, I love this with any kind of seafood. So being here at Chuy's, this one will work really well with oysters, but also any crab. Their crab cakes are to die for here. This works so well with it. Nice. You know, calamari, squid, sablefish, anything that's got a little richness to it, because you'll notice that there's a little texture to it, and that's from the oak. But it's not overly oaked. You're not getting any slivers from it.
Well, we're going to come right back to Chuy's and cover another one of your great holiday wines.
That's right. Looking forward to it. This health and wellness segment is brought to you by Viva Nutraceuticals. He is an optometrist, the founder of Kingsley Eyewear, which Lita and I enjoy. He's also a doctor, and Harbir Sian joins us today to talk about something that we talk about quite often through the year, and that is eye care. And people may think, because the sunshine's not here that much in our part of the world, but UV protection is as important as it is in the summer. Can you talk a bit about what people can do to protect themselves?
Yeah, absolutely right, Jim. All year round, we encourage UV protection a lot of people do think because, especially in our part of the world, it's cloudy, the sun rays are not coming through, the harmful UV rays are not coming through. But they do make their way through the clouds. And especially in the winter time, now that the ski season is on, everybody's up in the mountain, or a lot of people are up in the mountains. It's even more important there because this snow, that reflective surface, actually increases your exposure to UV light as well. So very important to make sure you're wearing sunglasses throughout the day in your daily life, but when you're up in the mountains as well.
And I should say that people sometimes just grab like the $5 ones in the store, which I've been accused of doing on vacation when my real good ones break, but you really should invest in a good pair of protective sunglasses, shouldn't you?
That's right, that's right. The cheaper pairs that you can purchase from the gas station or dollar store or wherever else, you know, they're often not up to standard. It's hard to know whether or not they're protecting your eyes as fully as they should, whether it's the percentage of UV light or the range of UV light that they're protecting.
You know, and another thing people don't think about either, I'm guilty of this, is protecting your eyes from the computer screens, which we spend more and more times in front of, your phone, your computer. Can you talk a little bit about how you can protect yourself from that?
Absolutely. That's a big conversation piece in the exam room for us. Protecting your eyes, in one way, limiting the use of the devices, which I know is quite difficult.
It's hard, you're right.
But there are certain types of lenses that we encourage patients to look into that filter that type of damaging light, that blue light that is emitted from digital devices. And we just refer to those as blue light lenses.
Right.
Pretty widely accessible now in most places.
And can you talk a little bit about getting constant eye check? Not constant, but people need to get their eyes checked once a year?
Regular,
once a year.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's also talk a bit about Kingsley, because you know your glasses are great, but you also have a wonderful charity element that Lita and I like to always mention when we talk to you.
Thank you. Yes, with Kingsley Eyewear, we're partnering with an organization called Optometry Giving Sight, which is an organization we've worked with through our optometry clinics for years now, and we know they do excellent work. They go to the developing parts of the world where people do not have access to care, and they put on the clinics. They even train people in those parts of the world to actually then continue the care after they leave, so it's not just to kind of come in and give the service and then leave. They're able to maintain that.
Always great talking with you. Eye care is something that a lot of us take for granted, but you really need to protect your eyes. Harbir, always a pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
This edition of the Health and Wellness segment has been brought to you by Viva Nutraceuticals.
Insozia is an effective sleep aid that can help you wake up in the morning feeling well rested. The traditional Chinese herbal medicine is patented and has been used for centuries to help relieve insomnia due to heart blood deficiency. Insozia is made in Canada, formulated by doctors, and manufactured by experts with more than 20 years of experience. For more information, go to vivahealthsolutions.com.
Well, we're really excited to introduce a brand new segment to Our City Tonight, and that's Film Reviews with Jim Gordon. And for some of you that don't know, Jim Gordon's been a film critic for many, many years. We're really excited about that. So here's Jim.
Well, thanks, Lita. That's right. Yes, this is my first movie review for Our City Tonight. I've been a film critic in this town for over 20 years, and we're now doing movie reviews here. So let's get right to the December movies. And we'll start with a beautiful film from legendary director Guillermo del Toro called The Shape of Water. Set in the late 1950s in Washington, this is the story of a lonely mute played by the always superb actress Sally Hawkins. Now, she has no one in her life except for a lonely gay man played by Richard Jenkins. She works the all-night shift at a secret government plant, but her life changes when she meets a creature from another world. And to say this is a simple love story, you have not seen anything like this, folks. This movie, The Shape of Water, gets an 8 out of 10. Our next movie stars Hugh Jackman in a movie that shows that he can really do it all: sing, dance, and act. It's the story of P.T. Barnum, and the movie is called The Greatest Showman. Now, in this kind of fictionalized account of the legendary circus guy, we see the story of P.T. Barnum and how he built up the greatest show on earth and how he created the term show business. Hugh Jackman's great in this movie, and as I said, you'll be humming these songs from the movie. Once you leave the theater, it also gets an 8 out of 10. Our next movie is Jessica Chastain in another Oscar-worthy performance. The movie is called Molly's Game. Chastain plays Molly, a woman who failed to qualify for the Olympics, but suddenly finds herself after about a year running the most elite secret poker game in America. This is based on the true story, as I said, and look for Jessica Chastain to get another Oscar nomination. She is proving to becoming the new Meryl Streep. Molly's Game gets an 8.5 out of 10. Well, now to our final two movies, and both tie in with World War II. Let's start with another Oscar-worthy performance, this one from Gary Oldman as Winston Churchill in The Darkest Hour. This takes place during England's darkest hour during World War II, and I got to tell you folks, Oldman's performance is stupendous. Great supporting cast. If you're a fan of history, want to learn more, there's some things in this movie that I didn't know. Check out Gary Oldman in The Darkest Hour. This also gets an 8.5 out of 10. And finally, if you missed it in theaters this past summer, a movie that will be in my top 5 at the year's end, you can now find the movie from Christopher Nolan, Dunkirk, available on DVD. I highly recommend if you're watching at home, you watch it on as big a screen as you can. Those are my movies for the month of December. Coming up on our next episode, I'll have my top 5 movies of 2017.
Well, Jim, we're here at an amazing opening of a new lounge called Hughes Lounge, as in Howard Hughes.
As in Howard Hughes?
But what their catchphrase is rules do not apply.
Well, they certainly didn't to him with his kind of money. But yeah, we're here at the Bayshore. Of course, the Bayshore has been here for years. What you may not know if you're in the rest of the country is that Howard Hughes actually stayed here for a couple days way, way, way back in the 70s. Now they got a new lounge way up. Now the curtain behind us there, they're getting ready to open up the curtain for the new lounge. We're getting ready to see, and you'll be right there front line with us. Well, on what will be his busiest night of the year, we actually got the GM from Hughes Lounge to join us quickly. Hey, congratulations. What a gorgeous looking place. And I must say, the Bayshore needed this, so congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Can you talk about the process you guys went through on what you wanted to do with this place?
Yeah, you know, it was very much with Concord Pacific, our owners, and then the Marriott and Westin brands, we all collided to create something that had a historical perspective and some type of story to tell, but then also that had a modern flair to it, mixing some of the classics vibes of this property, right? So it was a real amalgam of a lot of very creative minds that pulled it all together.
Hi, I'm Lauren Lee Smith from Frankie Drake Mysteries, and you're watching Our City Tonight.
6 takes, took her 6.
No,
I'm kidding.
That's perfect.
Well, Our City Tonight finds ourselves in downtown Vancouver at the legendary Vancouver Club on a school night, I might add.
Yes, and what brings us down here is an interesting local businessman, Bernard Lowe, who started a really great group that focuses on everything real estate. We're talking in the financing, development, as well as everything that goes along with real estate.
Let's go check it out.
So Bernard, you were the originator of this great event. Tell us a little bit about how it started.
Well, about 2.5 years ago, my main goal was to, gather people that are either, new to their specific organization and help each other build our networks. And from a small group of 4 to 5, now it's grown to, about 100 people that always attends. And this is a nonprofit, so we don't make any money. We don't ask people to, gouge them for, X amount of dollars, but this is just, a great opportunity. There's people that they're willing to sponsor, and they just enjoy it.
I'm really pleased to see a lot of young entrepreneurs here because they're the next wave, the next generation. You got a good attitude in this room, I see.
No, thank you very much. Most important is their support, and I believe that they see something that, in this event they attend and they get something out of it. That's the most important thing.
Nice job.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Well, welcome back to downtown Vancouver. We're at Chewy's restaurant. Boy, there's 100 hotels in this neighborhood, so if you find yourself in downtown Vancouver from the rest of the country, come check out Chewy's. and we're here to check out our last holiday wine with Crystal.
Yes, and so we're having a red. What makes this particular red a holiday wine, Crystal Lee?
So this is our 2013 Syrah, and for me, Syrah is a super versatile wine. It's not big and jammy, this particular one. It's got a little more white pepper characteristic to it, and it's a big wine, but it's not overly tannic, so it's super versatile. I find that this wine, if you're having turkey, it's going to work well. It actually works well too with lamb or duck, so it's a super versatile depending on what you're serving. As well as generally the holidays, you have more people over as well. So everybody likes something a little bit different, and I find that this is
satisfies everybody.
Exactly.
Oh, that's
well,
great.
still really working well with the different foods.
And there's something special about this particular wine we need to know.
Yeah, this is our 2013, and we won Best Red Wine at Cornucopia Wine Festival up at Whistler this year. Wow. This wine, yeah.
Congratulations again! More awards.
2 segments we've done so far. 2 awards. Very nice. Hey, we should talk a little about something that's happening, of course, across the country and here. That Lita and I didn't realize that when you're in town from the Okanagan, you do a lot of pourings.
I thought you were going to say you didn't realize I did work while I was
Oh, no.
Came and visited us and let us have
Listen, when you're telling me what your schedule, I get exhausted just hearing it. So, but no, you do a lot of pourings in supermarkets and stuff like that.
Yes, we do. So BCBQA wine stores are available in the Save-Ons throughout the province, and so we do a lot of tastings there. So it's not uncommon. In fact, my dad's doing one today as well, so to walk into the wine section and have the winery proprietor there pouring the wines.
That's wonderful, because sometimes we're a little, hesitant to try a new wine. Hopefully we're giving you enough information to try these, but great way to try it.
Absolutely, it's important to taste.
And a whole bunch of information, of course, on your website.
Yes, absolutely.
But it makes shopping more fun too.
Yes.
Yes. I never get anything done, but I get to sample all the wines. Hey, happy holidays to you. We'll see you in 2018, and thanks for joining us today.
Cheers.
Cheers. And thanks for Chewy's.
Happy holidays.
You too.
Hey, from Chewy's Oyster Bar.
This segment of Spirits Up was brought to you by Time Winery and Evolve Cellars.
Cheers.
Cheers.
So we're here at one of our favorite spots in downtown Vancouver, Coast Restaurant. But I think it's time for another one of our City Tonight's giveaways, Jim.
That's right. If you're a fan of television shows from the mid-70s to the mid-80s, we've got a classic show that is finally available in a box set, courtesy of Shout Factory. They put out great stuff. One Day at a Time was on from the mid-70s to the mid-80s. Your favorite guy, Schneider, was in that. Pat Harrington, Bonnie Franklin. Well, we got the whole box set for you. And Coast is throwing in a $25 gift certificate.
Wow.
Just because we're here today and they're friends of ours. And Lita, what do people out there have to do to win this great prize?
They can just actually send us an email to our dedicated email, ourcitytonightgiveaway@gmail.com. Just say you want to win that.
Yeah, good luck. And thanks to Shout Factory and Coast for helping us out.
Hi, I'm Scott Garrett. I'm the general manager at Coast Restaurant here in Vancouver, and you are watching Our City Tonight.
Well, we've had another really great time filming Our City Tonight.
That's right. Now, if you want to follow us on social media, it's Our City Tonight on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We don't do faxes anymore, so.
Well, Jim has his pager still, though.
I do. Call me. I'm Jim Gordon.
I'm Lita Leapin.
We'll see you on the next edition of Our City Tonight.
I know.
You're not even drinking.
Well, I know we're gonna do the Spirits Up thing.